do you think goalkeepers can get better, or the mistakes that they've been making throughout their whole career, they'll keep making them till they retire? Captain down, but the ship isn't going down with him. We encountered a tough run of games, but we came out relatively unscathed. Welcome back to the channel.
Good morning, that's good evening, or good night.
Welcome back. Before we continue, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and help me grow this channel. Now, the month of November has been a rocky one. We kind of ended last video on sort of a downer because of how the games have gone. But this November, I think we've been unbeaten. We haven't won on all our games, but we haven't lost either. So it's been a relatively good month. Like I said, relatively unscathed. It begins with United, and the game, even though it was a draw, I count it as a loss because we should have beaten United. It's just our luck. Ten Hag got sacked. I just knew it. From the moment I knew he wasn't sacked in summer, I knew he was going to get sacked right before our game because it always happens. But the game was a letdown. It felt like a continuation of the Newcastle loss in the Carabao Cup because it didn't feel like the boys were trying to win. And Palmer wasn't his sparkling self again. But at the same time, he wasn't as bad as against Liverpool. At least he was still trying to do stuff, but the things weren't coming off. And his decision-making came into question in that game. It's the first time that I've ever felt like that about him when he plays for us. And Gusto was bad again. Shocker. Jackson and Noni were anonymous in that game. But Neto was a very bright spark. He was beginning to show me I thought he really was. And he had a chance that just went just by the post. And it was very unfortunate that he didn't go on the other side of the post and go in to help us win the game. But before I continue to give my thoughts, I think we should look at the lineup from the game. So Man United, Chelsea at Old Trafford. So ended 1-1. It's a draw, Fernandes penalty, and Caicedo equalizer. With this being the lineup, I had no issue with the lineup. I don't remember exactly, but I think Lavia was also at fault for the goal. I don't actually remember the goal. Honestly, this month, it has felt like 2 months. A lot has happened, and I honestly don't remember all the games properly, but I'll try my best. But like I said, Gusto, I don't know, since he hasn't had a good game, he's just been bad. And like I said, Noni and Jackson were anonymous. Palmer, he wasn't sparkling best, but he tried at least. It didn't seem like he was uninterested like I felt he was in the Liverpool game. Caicedo and Lavia, solid pivot, helped us get control of the game. We had more possession as I expected, but I didn't expect us to not have more XG than United. But granted, the XG was inflated by the penalty that Bruno Fernandes scored. And looking at how the game went, Gusto got hooked at halftime, which is what I keep saying about Maresca, which makes me like him. Like, he recognizes an issue and he fixes it. It doesn't take too much time. He doesn't leave Gusto on for under 10-15 minutes to keep playing rubbish. He just takes him off at halftime. And I love that about him. Unfortunately, to concede the penalty, Robert Sanchez again. He doesn't need to foul Højlund. He doesn't need to. And I don't know. I asked this question in the first month review that I did. Do you think goalkeepers can get better, or the mistakes that they've been making throughout their whole career, they'll keep making them till they retire? Because I'm beginning to think Sanchez is a lost cause, because I don't understand why he keeps making these mistakes. He has conceded about 3 penalties. The one against Bournemouth, obviously this one against Man United, and I think one other one. Yeah, it was against Liverpool by goal overtime. So I think just 2, right? So anyway, but it's still 1 too many or 2 too many. Like, I don't know. And his passing is always dodgy. It's just, but once again, Caicedo outstanding. He has been our most consistent player this season, and he just keeps showing his quality. Lavia was decent, but he wasn't as amazing as he was in the previous games. And I don't remember exactly, but I think he had a part to play in the goal that we conceded. I think maybe he lost the ball or he failed to make a challenge. I'm probably conflating 2 or 3 different games, but I think I made a mental note of it, and he had a part to play in it. Enzo Fernandez had a miss that I think I argued about it on Twitter. I feel like a professional footballer should be scoring that. Like, he had so much areas from the goal that he could have aimed at. And I think he actually made the right shot selection to try and dink it over Onana and the defenders in front of him, because Onana was way off his line. But he should score that. And he has had chances just like that as well that he has missed. I can't remember which game exactly, but last season there was a chance that he got similar to that he just needed to dink it into the net. And I think that one, he didn't even put it over it. I think he just put it to the side. I have it in my head. I just don't remember the game. But I think outside the miss, he was all right. I don't really have any complaints about him. Like he did okay. Kukurea came on, showing his quality. Mudrik was all right, and he's showing that he's a footballer now. And I don't have any problems with him coming on anymore. Because last season, every time he came on, I was just like, oh, nothing's going to happen. I never expected anything from him. But now he seems competent now. Like he doesn't lose the ball for no reason. He tracks back, he works hard, he defends well, and I'm happy with it. No complaints. So now we'll move on to the Noah game. This is one of those games. Every time I talk about these conference league games or these games that we play against lower opposition, I just feel like a broken record. Because what else can you say? We showed our quality. We showed the gulf, why there's a gulf in class between FC Noah and Chelsea. Like we shouldn't even be in this competition. And these are the kind of games that make me more confident that we're going to win this competition very easily. Because I don't think there's any team in this competition that would give us a serious game. It just depends on us. As long as we show up, we should win. And this game, we showed up. Like the boys were hungry. They really had something to prove. And I was very surprised because we scored two corner kicks. Like how often does that even happen? We've scored from 3 set pieces this whole season, and 2 of them were in this game. Kudos to the guys that got their first goals of the season: Gui, Tosin, Isasi, and Carney and Tyreek George. They had good cameos when they came on. I think Carney should have gotten, I think, like 2 goals, but it is what it is. He hasn't had a lot of minutes, so, and he didn't even have a good preseason anyway. So I won't lay into him too much. Nkunku, 2 goals. He should have had more. It is what it is. Felix, I felt like he didn't really have that much of a good game, but he left with how many? He left with. He came out with how many assists and 2 goals? I don't even remember how many assists he got. Let me see. I think 1 or 2 assists. Oh, did he get an assist? Or maybe I'm thinking about that game. But yeah, decent game. Continues to dispatch all these inferior teams and high praise. At least it's after the United game, it was a nice palate cleanser because I wasn't fuming, but I was very disappointed after the Man United game, especially since I expected us to win that game. So moving on to Arsenal at home, this was another game that I thought we would win before the month started. But after we drew to United, I knew it was going to be a draw. I knew we're never losing this game because I think Arsenal were going through a torrid time, and we're decent. We're not bad. We're not awesome, but we're decent. So after the United game, I just knew, because before the United game, I thought we had a really good chance to win both games. But after the United game, I just knew it was going to be a draw because we keep showing that we find it hard to dispatch all these big teams. We played so much better against Arsenal than United, but we just didn't have our finishing boots on. And on the second watch of the game, it wasn't as bad as it was because obviously when I watch games live, I have a lot of emotion and things seem exaggerated to me. That's why I watch the games twice so that I can watch it with a more level head, being that I already know the outcome. So I'm not as infuriated or as excited as I would have been on the first watch. So the entire first half, we were the better team, but we just couldn't score. And actually, Malo Gusto had his best game this season against Arsenal. It wasn't the best, like he wasn't amazing, but it was his best game, which just shows how bad he has been playing this season. And that chance that he missed, oh my days, like he should be scoring that. It was down near an empty post. He should put that header away and score that chance, but he didn't. And it just gave me flashbacks of last season under Pochettino when we would play well in the first half, not score, miss chances, and then second half we concede and capitulate and lose the game. But that being said, we have a proper manager now, because we don't come out worse in the second half the way we used to last season. Even though we conceded and it followed that path of what would have happened last season, instead of capitulating and having heads down and people losing faith and losing passion or losing desire or losing belief that they can win the game, we have a fighting spirit now, which makes watching games not as stressful as it was last season. And I just knew we were going to score. I wasn't sure if we were going to win the game or we're going to draw, but I knew we were going to score. Like the game was never going to end 1-0. So after the Martinelli goal, which against Sanchez, and to be fair, it's not just Sanchez because Lavia lost the ball. The defense couldn't deal with Saka to get the ball off him and Odegaard. So and Colwill put everybody on side. Like we held the proper line, which could have put them on side, but Colwill was just out. I don't know. He wasn't concentrating. He didn't have a good game, Colwill. But Jackson was anonymous again. He tried, but the things he was trying were not coming off. And I keep saying it. We need to play balls in behind more often. We need to get at least 3 times in a game. Like we need to try it. Just put the ball to Jackson at least 3 times in a game. Just see what happens. We don't do that as often as I think we should. People shit on Madueke so much. Like it's unnecessary. He actually had a good game up until he got subbed. The thing about me, I try to understand people before I put expectations on them. Madueke is not a world-class winger. He's an average winger. He's an average Premier League winger. which if you put him in lower leagues, he would flourish, he would shine, he will show that he's above that level. But when you put him amongst people that are either equal to him or slightly better, he is not going to shine that much. So he does what he needs to do well enough. Like he tracks back, he works hard, and he tries to take on defenders. Sometimes it comes off, sometimes it doesn't come off. Like he's not amazing, he's not world class. So I don't understand why people. Actually, I understand it. People just want Neto to play right wing, so they keep shitting on Nani and hoping that Neto will eventually start over him. Which I don't mind Neto starting over Nani at right wing, but I don't think I need to shit on Nani for that to happen. Like if Maresca thinks it's better to play Neto there, sure, like fine. Like Nani is not amazing. Even Neto is closer to world class than Nani is, but I don't know if Neto would be able to do the defensive work to the level that Madueke does it, because people really underestimate how physical Madueke is. Like he can push people off the ball. Like he wins a lot of duels, both aerially and on the ground. Like he wins a lot of duels. So that attacking, like that defensive aspect of his game is very underrated. And I don't know, Neto sure has the work rate and the engine. He's injury prone though, which is something to keep at the back of your mind. But he's not as physical as Nani, even though he can track back and engage with attackers in the defensive part of the game. I don't know how many. I don't know. I'm not confident that he would win as many or even more duels than Madueke wins. So I think I'm fine with either one of them. Like I don't have that much of a preference. Lavia had a good game up until second half, and I don't know whether it's his fitness or it's the injury. But after the 55 minutes mark, Lavia's performance is always like doing. Like I said, he gave away the ball for the goal. And when Enzo came on, even though we lost a bit of control and defensive solidity, but like it felt like we had more attacking impetus. Is that you say it? Whatever. We gained a bit more attacking impetus with Enzo on the pitch, which is why there might be a shock at the end of this video when I do my November XI. The game was good. Kukurea locked up Saka. Saka did nothing in that game except putting one good cross that they didn't do much with. And they had a bunch of chances, but to me, they don't count because if they had scored those chances, it would have been offside anyway. And I've noticed that like our defensive line has improved so much. Like I don't know if I'm the only person that has noticed this, but we catch people offside more often than we used to. And if Sanchez was just a better goalkeeper, I would have had more confidence in us doing more than top four this season. But Sanchez is just, him and Gusto are the reasons I don't think we will challenge. Gusto, I've seen better from Gusto, so I still have hope. But Sanchez, I have no hope. Like, I've given up. And I would like to mention, I've actually mentioned it in Noah game. I think Enzo had 3 assists in that game. Since Enzo left his wife or separated from his wife, his performances has been crazy. I don't know what has been going on in his household, but I am happy with what I'm seeing on the pitch. Like he has been doing so well. Neto was amazing. That his goal came out of nowhere. Like the way he just drifted into that space undetected, and the finish was sublime. And this Arsenal defense, if you notice, a lot of goals have come from the ball going right in between Saliba and Gabriel. I don't know if anybody has noticed this. The goal that they considered against Brighton, it came right between them. Even though there was a red card, but still, I'm sure there have been others, but I don't remember. But even the goal that they conceded against West Ham, the goal that Wan-Bissaka scored, for reference, I'm recording this right before Chelsea play on Sunday. I'm trying to get this recorded quickly so that the result from the Aston Villa game doesn't affect what I intend for this video. So I don't know when I'll put it out. Maybe hopefully tomorrow, latest next tomorrow. Well, yeah, I'm just trying to get the video recorded before we play so that my mind can be focused on next month's review, because we have a lot of games in December. We have like 9 games in December. Anyway, I went on a tangent. But yeah, they've considered quite a few goals from the ball just going in between Gabriel and Saliba, which is a weakness that I didn't expect them to have. Maybe it's not a weakness, maybe it's just occasional lapse of concentration. Anyway, Arsenal, they were not scintillating, but they were a lot better than they had been right before we played them. Timber, I like Timber. He's my kind of player. Very strong, very technical, quick enough. He's intelligent. He has very good reading of the game. He's a player that I would like for us. Like he can play in midfield as well. Like he's such a good player. Saka is a good player as well, but Kukurea locked his ass up. Anyway, Havertz, I fucking hate Havertz. I don't know why there are Chelsea fans that still defending. Like, fuck Havertz. Anyway, Leicester City game. I didn't watch the first half live, so I didn't have an authentic reaction to the Jackson goal in real time. But I was happy with the Leicester City game. Gone are the days that we lose games right after international break, because that used to be a real worry for me. But the lineup I didn't have an authentic reaction to the lineup either, because I was sleeping. Well, the lineup is not what I expected. Well, I guess it makes sense due to the absences that we had from Gusto and Neto, who would have most likely started. And I noticed something from, I think, the United game. I don't think Maresca trusts Levi Cole to. No, actually, from even before then, I think I started thinking about it since the Liverpool game. I don't think Maresca trusts Levi Cole to defend the wide areas, which is why Rhys James was playing left back when he was fit. I think it was from after the Liverpool game that. Wait, let me open a new tab. Okay. I just want to cross check my thoughts. I just want to cross check my thoughts in case I'm not making shit up. Because I think, and I don't think Rhys James played left back against Liverpool, did he? Yeah, he didn't. So it was Gusto that played there. And yes, and in that game, Gusto inverted into the midfield and Cole was out wide. Yes. I'm not making it up. After that game, I don't think we never inverted the left side again. No, this game doesn't count. Sorry. No, Newcastle. Yeah. See, after that Liverpool game, when Salah spun up Levi Cole, James started playing left back, and we started inverting the right side. I don't believe Maresca trusts Cole to defend wide areas, which is why we've been, because when it started happening that James was playing left back, everybody was confused, and even I was wondering what it was. Well, after watching the games, it's either he doesn't trust him to defend wide areas or he prefers him in the middle for his ball playing ability. But I am going with him not trusting him in the wide areas because Liverpool has issues defending the wide areas. And I feel like the ball playing ability is going to be an asset whether you play left centre back, right centre back, or centre back. So Enzo Fernandez had a very good game, left a goal and assist. Oh, that Jackson finish. It was so sublime, man. It was so sublime. I don't know if you've noticed, but since the Arsenal game, I'm literally just freestyling because I have no notes. I stopped making notes after the international break because, like I said, it's been a long one. I didn't do as much preparation for this video as I usually do. Anyway, Jackson was amazing. That his finish. He has improved so much. Madueke had a good game. I don't know what people are complaining about. He played well in that first half and he had a good finish that was called offside because of Kufuria being offside. Palmer also had a very good game. I noticed that Fernandez was playing more of a 10 role and Palmer was playing more of a deep line playmaker role in a pivot with Caicedo whenever we had ball. And whenever we lost possession, they kind of switched back if they could. And that was interesting. And to be honest, I don't really like it. I don't know. I feel like we're trying to accommodate for Fernandez too much. But if we win games, I can't complain too much. Because I don't know. I prefer Palmer to play right wing. Like all the Noni and Pedro Neto debate, like I couldn't care less. If there's anybody I prefer to play right wing, it should be Palmer. But I feel like it's more threatening there. Palmer is not physical enough to play the 10. Like it's very easy well, let me not say it's very easy. It is possible for him to get marked out of the game. I completely skipped over it. Lisandro Martinez should have gotten a red card at Man United game. The same way, indeed, he should have gotten a red card, and this Salmari guy should have gotten a red card for his foul on Felix. Like this Leicester game, we're trying to hurt our players, and FaZe is the worst defender ever. He's the worst defender I've ever seen in Premier League. He's so shit. I don't know if anybody remembers before the season Leicester got relegated when Leicester City played against Liverpool, and I don't remember if they went 2 goals up or they went 1 goal up and then Liverpool equalized and then went 2-1 and then they equalized again. Well, Liverpool didn't score a goal in that game. Leicester City scored the 4 goals. And this phase of Fiaz or whatever, however we pronounce his name, he scored 2 own goals. Like, if this guy did not exist, Leicester City would have beaten Liverpool that game. And who knows, maybe they stay up because they could have gotten confidence from beating Liverpool and had a better season. This guy is the worst defender I've ever watched. Sanchez, I don't want to talk about him because it feels like I'm bullying. Like it feels like I'm just picking on him, and I don't want to do that. I don't like picking on players, but he's just so shaky. Kukurea had a wonderful game. Fofana had a very good game as well. The entire backline. Oh my god, Badia Shili, man, he has returned. He has truly returned. I'm confident that he has returned. Like the Badia Shili that we got when we first signed him, he's back completely. He has recovered. I don't know where he disappeared to these past few years, but he's back. Caicedo was amazing again. It's just consistently good. I don't know what else to say. It's just consistently good. The subs, I don't think they had much impact. I wish Maresca brings Nkunku on more. I hope Maresca eventually gives Nkunku more minutes. And even if he doesn't start games, I feel like he should be bringing him on earlier. Because what is he supposed to do when he comes on at the 81st minute, at 85 minutes? Like, fam, especially that Arsenal game. They should have taken Jackson off at 70th minutes or even 65 because he had no impact in that game, and the Man United game as well. Like he should have come on a lot earlier. But anyway, we won the game. We completely dominated. Sanchez should, even though Lavia gave away the pen and it was silly, Sanchez should have come out to claim that ball earlier. In every game, he contributes to the goal that we concede, and I think he's the player in Premier League with the most errors leading to goals. I think it's 3. Obviously 2 penalties and something else. Oh yeah, that Brighton game. Lord have mercy. If we that Brighton game, might be 4 safe. Anyway, Leicester City game was good. We had complete domination. And finally, to cap off the November fixture list review, it was Heidenheim. And that inferior team. I was never worried when watching this game because since Marissa came has come in, I've had more of a relaxed approach. Oh, sorry, I forgot I'm talking to Mike. I was too relaxed. But ever since Marissa has come in, I've been having a more relaxed approach when watching games, except the big games, because those games are still uncertain for me because we are yet to win a match against a big team, like traditional Big Six team. Whenever we play teams that are not the traditional Big Six, I'm usually relaxed. I don't think we're going to lose the game because even if we concede, I feel like we'll score and come back. But I don't think we'll lose the game. So when watching this game, even though we didn't score in the first half, I was very relaxed because I could see why we couldn't score. It's not like we were not creating chances. We couldn't score because of this guy. Like he missed maybe like 7 chances, and I don't know. People are saying he needs a loan. I don't think he needs a loan. I think he's getting enough minutes as a young player. He's getting enough minutes. I don't think he needs a loan. Maybe a loan will do him good, play more regular football, maybe. But I don't know. I don't think he needs a loan. I think he's just very raw. I don't know if he's better than Dacho Fofana or Dacho Fofana would have been. I haven't seen Davide Washington play yet, but I'm not sure he's that much better than him either. Like I'm not even sure he's that much better than Broja, to be honest. But yeah, like the game was good. I enjoyed watching it. We created a lot of chances. Just before missed a one-on-one. Jadon Sancho finally shot. Like he finally took a shot, which I was happy about. He left with 2 assists. Nkunku took his goal well. Even though he missed a few chances, I'm not really bothered because the first chance that he missed, I think it was a chip. It was a good shot selection, just the execution. And I knew we were going to win the game. But actually was on point again. Tosin, he was just making those passes. The Sassy, people hate on, and that player that people hate on for no reason, in my own opinion. The Sassy is not as bad as people say it is. Like, I think he had a good game. Sure, he misplaced maybe like 3 or 4 passes. We didn't concede from them, so I'm not bothered. When they skipped past him, like he did well to make the initial challenge and he didn't want to give a pen away. So, like, I don't know. Like, I don't really care too much about that. Vega he started off shaky, but he grew into the game and became better. Cassidy, chef's kiss. I sincerely hope that there will be a point in time where we can see a midfield pivot of Cassidy and Andre Santos, because I think we would cook with that. Like, these 2 guys, they show so much promise. They have shown so much promise. And if it's even possible, if Kani can get his shit together and he doesn't leave, like that midfield 3, Kani, Chukwuemeka, Cassidy, and Santos, man, I'm just saying. But yeah, Mudrik was alright. He took his goal well. He was just average the whole game, but he took his goal well. All the shooting training that I've been seeing him do all these years, he finally replicated those goals in training on the pitch, and I'm happy for him. Hopefully that froze his confidence and he continues to play even better. And saving the best for last, Jorgensen, he grew into his own. I've always said I don't like Sanchez, but I've never been sure that Jorgensen is definitely better than Sanchez, if you get what I mean, because we haven't seen him play enough and he has been playing against lower tier teams. He's never really tested, like, so it's hard to say whether he would be able to step up against Premier League teams. But this game he was tested and he passed the test with flying colors. Like, he was outstanding in this game. And even though it's a lower tier team, but the saves that he made, I think 3 in particular, he even made a double save. Those are not things that cannot be replicated against higher level teams. Those saves can be replicated. He really kept us in the game after we failed to score in the first half. You kept us in the game, and he kept Heidenheim out of the game, definitely. I enjoyed the game a lot. Now, so far, the month of November has been good. We've been unbeaten, like I mentioned earlier. And even though it started off with a bit of disappointment, but we won every other game. So we finished the month of November in 5th place with 1 game in hand. We're playing Aston Villa in about 2 hours, less than 2 hours actually. So the lineup should be out very soon. And hopefully we win the game. If we win the game and Man City loses, we go 3rd. So we're 5th right now. Brighton is in 3rd place with 1. Oh yeah, it's because we're level on points. They drew against Southampton. So they're 1 point ahead of us right now. Man City is 1 point ahead of us right now with a game in hand as well. So we have more goal difference. So even if we draw, we go above both Man City and Brighton, we should be 3rd. So I don't think we lose. So either way, we would go 3rd if Man City loses. If Man City beats Liverpool, we'll be 4th and Brighton will be 5th. But yeah, it's been a decent month. It was a bit disappointing in the beginning with the 2 draws, but this is what it is. This is what it is. We're not there yet. And I hope we get there very soon because we need to start beating this big team so that next season we can be nailed on title challengers. But I'm happy with improvements that we've seen so far with performances. I think Cole Palmer will soon start performing again. And I feel like a good run is coming soon in this December because we have a big enough squad to rotate and avoid injuries and dips in performances. Regardless of what happens today, we would still be in the top 4, which is what I expect from us. To speak briefly on the title challenge situation. Liverpool seem to be running away with it, which I didn't expect, but I'm still not completely convinced by them because injuries and loss of form can happen and which can deviate the trajectory that they've set. And I watched Willian play out of his skin for like 15 games straight and signed his contract and his form went out the window. So I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's a possibility because Salah is playing out of his skin. He's playing for a contract, and if they give him the contract, we never know what could happen. Arsenal seem to be back to the performances that we expect from them after smashing teams. They seem to be back in it. I don't know how possible it is for them to claw back the points that Liverpool have on them. For Man City, I think people are counting them out too early because people forget that this is Pep we're talking about, arguably the greatest coach that we've ever seen. Man City can still win this league. It's very possible. Anything can happen because last season Tottenham were high flying until we played them and they got 2 suspensions and I think 2 injuries and they had a shit season from there forward. So anything can happen. Arsenal is still in the race, in my opinion. Man City is still in the race. Liverpool are so far ahead, but it's not impossible to catch them. So we'll see what happens on that front. So my grade for this month of November, I would give it, you know what? I feel generous. I'll give it an A-. I think we've been unbeaten, so that counts for something. We dominated Leicester, obviously won Heidenheim, and we drew against 2 big teams, regardless of how they had been performing up until the game. Because my big takeaway from the biggest deduction from last month was the fact that we lost to Liverpool. So we could have won, but a draw is fair enough because we're not there yet. I think A- is very, very fair. Now to finish up the video, this is my November team of the month. Neto holds the spot last. Wait, let me actually pull up. I forgot it before I put in there. I just know the mainstays. Rhys James drops out for obvious reasons. He's injured. Jorgensen comes in because he's definitely better than Sanchez. Definitely. Colwill stays. Badiashile comes in because Rhys James is not in, and Fernandez surprisingly comes in because Lavia has actually been making quite a few mistakes that lead to goals. And Fernandez, I think in this month alone, he had like 5 assists and 1 goal. So he comes in. Neto comes in for Sancho because remember my rationale for keeping Sancho in, I didn't think Neto had done enough to edge Sancho out, and I think he has done enough. Madueke still stays, even though he hasn't been performing well. Obviously, Palmer stays and Jackson stays. But this month, I have a sneaky feeling that Madueke might drop out because I'm not confident that his attacking output is going to improve. Anyway, thank you for tuning in and watching this video. Please actually do like and subscribe because it helps to grow the channel. On that note, thank you for watching. See you next one.